Particle value equivalent to $0.244 a coin. The present exchanged cost range, 0.2134 to 0.345. The earlier day close, 0.319. The change was 0.75, 323%. Opposite rate, altcoins. Particle estimate for August 2024. To start with cost at $0.201. Exorbitant cost $0.732, while low cost $0.201. The found the middle value of cost $0.4022. Particle cost estimate toward the month's end $0.553. Change for August 16%. Particle cost expectation for September 2024. In the first place, cost at $0.553. Exorbitant costs $368, while low costs $0.553. The found the middle value of cost $0.809. Particle cost gauge toward the month's end $0.961. Change for September 16%. Particle gauge for October 2024. In the first place, cost at $0.961. Exorbitant costs $0.295, while low costs $0.863. The arrived at the midpoint of costs $350. Particle cost conjecture toward the month's end $0.79. Change for October 4%. Particle cost expectation for November 2024. At the outset, cost at $79. Excessive costs $8.22, while low costs $79. The arrived at the midpoint of costs beyond $388. Particle cost conjecture toward the month's ends PT5072. Change for November 16%. Particle conjecture for December 2024. At the outset, cost at $572. Excessive costs are $44.34, while low costs $572. The arrived at the midpoint of costs $309.31. Particle cost figure toward the month's ends $444. Change for December 16%. Particle cost expectation for January 2025. Initially cost at $144. Excessive costs $650, while low costs $40.42. The arrived at the midpoint of costs $14,296. Particle cost figure toward the month's ends $43.46. Change for January 9%. Particle conjecture for February 2025. Before all else, cost at $4346. Excessive costs of $46.88, while low costs of $40.74. The arrived at the midpoint of costs on $43.72. Particle cost conjecture toward the month's ends on $43.81. Change for February's to 8%. Particle cost expectation for WARP 2025. Before all else, cost at on $43.81. Excessive costs on $48.08, while low costs on $41.78. The arrived at the midpoint of costs on $44.65. Particle cost conjecture toward the month's ends on $44.93. Change for spring to 6%. Particle figure for April 2025. Initially cost at $44.93. Excessive costs are $48.63, while low costs are $14.227. The arrived at the midpoint of costs on $45.32. Particle cost figure toward the month's ends on $45.45. Change for April 2%. Particle cost expectation for May 2025. Initially cost at $25.45. Excessive costs on $49.69, while low costs on $43.19. The arrived at the midpoint of costs on $46.19. Particle cost figure toward the month's end $46.44. Change for May 2%. Particle estimate for June 2025. To start with, cost at $46.44. Exorbitant costs of $5.19, while low costs are $4,363. The found the middle value of costs $4,679. Particle cost estimate toward the month's end $4,691. Change for June 1%. Particle cost expectation for July 2025. In the first place, cost at $691. Exorbitant costs on $5.29, while low costs on $44.57. The found the middle value of costs on $4,768. Particle cost gauge toward the month's ends $4,793. Change for July 2%. Particle gauge for August 2025. In the first place, cost at $4,793. Exorbitant costs of $5.41, while low costs of $4,555. The found the middle value of cost on 4872. Particle cost gauge toward the month's end 4898. Change for August 2%. Particle cost expectation for September 2025. First and foremost cost at some $4,898. Exorbitant costs of $5,496, while low costs of $4,776. The found the middle value of cost of $5,077. Particle cost estimate toward the month's ends at $5,136. Change for September 49%. Particle estimate for October 2025. First and foremost cost at some $36. Exorbitant cost $0.63 to $75, while low costs of $136. The found the middle value of costs of $5,651. Particle cost estimate toward the month's ends are $5,958. Change for October 16%. Particle cost expectation for November 2025. To start with cost at $5,958. Exorbitant costs of $5,958, while low costs of $4,655. The found the middle value of costs of $5,394. Particle cost estimate toward the month's ends on $5,005. Change for November 16%. Particle estimate for December 2025. To start with cost at $5,005. Exorbitant costs of $5,005, while low costs $3,910. The found the middle value of cost of $4,531. Particle cost estimate toward the month's ends on $4,204. Change for December 16%. Particle cost expectation for January 2026. Initially cost at some $4,204. Excessive cost of $4,204, while low costs bringing $514. The arrived at the midpoint of costs $3,925. Particle cost figure toward the month's ends $778. Change for January 1%. Particle figure for February 2026. Initially cost at $778. Excessive cost of $4136, while low costs $594. The arrived at the midpoint of costs $843. Particle cost estimate toward the month's ends $865. Change for February 2%. Particle cost expectation for walk 2026. To start with cost at $865. Exorbitant costs $1865, while low costs $177. The found the middle value of costs $581. Particle cost estimate toward the month's ends $416. Change for spring 11.6%. Particle estimate for April 2026. To start with cost at $416. Exorbitant cost $42.40, while low costs $416. The found the middle value of costs $759. Particle cost gauge toward the month's end $963. Change for April 16%. As to expectation